How's it going, guys? This is Brett Darian here, and are you still burning CDRs and DVD-Rs today in 2024? Well, if you are, you might be interested in this product. This is a Casio disc title printer. This is the CW-75. You might recall a video from LGR. He did a video on the CW-50. This is the later model from 2004. And the main feature of this one is that it has a built-in keyboard on the printer itself, which allows you to operate it without a PC. So this is fully self-contained. You don't need a PC to print CDRs. But I mean, if you're burning CDRs, then there's probably a PC nearby anyway. But either way, if you needed to label or title your discs away from a PC, you can do it with this. There was also a CW-100 that spun the discs around for you electronically. But other than that, that model isn't too fancy. This one I think is the most interesting model of the three, and I think this is the one that you should look out for if you're in the market for one of these. If you're actually looking for one of these, I think this is the one to get. Now, actually, a funny story behind this. I bought this off eBay from somebody. And I got it in the mail, and it looked in pretty good shape. In fact, I mean, I got it with the original box here, as you can see, and it even came with the original instruction manual here. I got that, the original instruction manual, and it even came with the original CD software. And it also even came with this practice CDR that you can practice printing on, and it's still sealed. So this doesn't look like it was used that much. But I thought that it came with ink, because this is a thermal printer, so it prints using like a thermal ink ribbon, and it's in like a little cartridge or a little cassette. And I thought that it was going to come with that, but it did not. I looked, and the cartridge slide's empty. So I messaged the seller on eBay, and the response I got was not what I expected. They actually said that they did not even list this item for sale, and that it was never tested, because it was advertised as being tested and working. But they said it was never tested, and it should not have even been listed for sale. So they actually wanted me to return the product for a refund, but I said, well, I don't want to return it. I just thought that it included ink. So we agreed on like a partial refund so I can go and buy some ink, and so that's what I did. Now, to get a new old stock ink cartridge for this off eBay is like about $15 to $20 on average for one. But I want to do better than that. So how about 3 brand new ink cartridges? Well, still not enough, you say? Well, I can do better. How about 6? 6 brand new ink ribbon cassettes for either model, the CW-50, CW-75, or the CW-100. And this is black and blue. Alright, so here's a close-up look at the printer. You see we got a full QWERTY keyboard here, along with a on button, off button, print button, some arrow keys here to navigate through the screen, and you also have your eject button. You cannot eject the disc tray yourself. You have to actually have it plugged into power, and it can only be ejected by pressing the eject button. On this side here there's nothing, on this side here there's nothing, and on the back here you have your 12 volt DC power input, and behind this little sticker here is your USB port. So you can still connect this to a PC if you desire, but it's not required with this model. And this is the same USB port that a lot of printers use, so it's a pretty common cable to find. And here is your battery compartment. So you open this up, and the batteries pop out of here. And this cassette will take 8 AA batteries. And I've read the battery life on this printer is not very good. So if you're going to be doing a lot of printing with this thing, it's highly recommended to get a power adapter. Now, I do not have the official power supply for this, but I do have a power adapter that will work. and it just so happens to be the power adapter for the PlayStation VR. But it does output 12 volts at 3 amps. So that just plugs in the back here. And then you press the on button, and then the screen lights up, and then you're ready for prime time. I also did not get a USB cable with this, but as I said, it just takes a standard printer cable. And I had a couple of these laying around. So that just goes in the back here, in the back port. And now you can connect this to the PC if you want to. And for anybody wondering, the screen is about 2 inches. Alright, so let's set this thing up to print. So we'll turn it on. And we gotta install the ink cartridge first. So we gotta eject the tray for that. And then we open up this cover. And the cartridge goes right in there. So these are the 2 new packages I have. So we will open up the blue one and we'll install that color. It's something different than the standard black. Alright, so here's our new cartridge. It says remove this stopper and take up any slack in ribbon before use. So that must be the stopper there. And it looks like there's a little bit of a crease in the ribbon, so hopefully that doesn't affect performance. But yeah, so taking any slack, there you go, now that the crease is gone, so now any slack is taken up. Alright, so it should just slide in here like this. There we go. It's as simple as that. So now the new cartridge is in, and now we're ready to print. Alright, let's play around with this practice disc. And we'll try printing without a PC first. And we'll see what this printer is capable of on its own. Alright, let's take a look at the practice disc. Alright, this is an actual CDR, so you can burn something on this. But this is the perfect blank coating on the disc here, so you can print on this. You can print on the top and the bottom. And there's some smearing there. That may not be good for it, I don't know. I may want to clear that off first before I print on this. And here's some printing precautions. So certain types of discs might cause printing problems, especially if you have CDRs that have lines in them or logos, which a lot of CDRs do. It may not print over those properly, so do keep your expectations modest. And of course you don't want to run out of CDRs and ribbons. Order now and have them sent directly to your home or office. Well, I don't think they offer this service anymore, but still cool to see this. A little relic from the past, I guess. Alright, so let's put our disc in. Pull out the tray, and we'll position the disc hopefully just right there. So we'll slide that in. And now we'll see if this thing works, because we still don't know if this thing even works yet or not. Okay, so it looks like we can perform a demo print. So that'll at least tell us if the printer works or not. So we'll try and do that. Alright, so we press setup, and then we navigate down to demo print right there. And then we press set. And then we have data 1 and data 2. So we'll just press data 1 and we'll print. And which label? Yeah, we can do that one or we can do that one. So we'll just do that one here, make it simple. Well, hey. Check that out. It says data, alright. I thought I was going to say data 1 or data 2, actually. I didn't know it was just going to say data. But yeah, that actually doesn't look bad. And it's not... Yeah, I mean, it's not really rubbing off. So it looks to be permanent. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, I want to do that again. Yeah, we'll put it in there that way this time. Alright, we'll go back into the setup menu. Go back down to demo. And we'll try data 2. See if that looks any different. Alright, that looks really awesome, I think. Jason's band, okay. Wow. Alright, yeah, well, color me impressed. This is pretty cool. Alright, enough fooling around. Let's get serious. I have here a CDR with some family pictures on it. And we're going to make a new label using just the machine, and we're going to print on this. Okay, so to make a new label, go to New, and for this particular pattern I'm going to print on the bottom of the disc. So we'll do that. And as you can see here, the titles can be different formats. It doesn't just have to be one bold font. You can do a variety of different designs. So that's really cool. It could even be 3 lines, it can be 4 lines, it can be 1 line here and a couple smaller texts below it. I mean, you actually have quite a few options here, but I'm just going to do this one here. Alright, so for title 1, we'll say Alabama. Oh, that's 2 spaces. Alabama trip. So that'll be the first line. And in the second line, we'll just do the date. So September 2009. There we go. And we can preview it. And that's what it should print. Slow to scroll, but yeah, that's what it should print on the disc. And you can also store labels. You can store them and save them to the built-in memory, so that way you don't have to do them each time if you're going to print multiple ones. But we'll just print this one. And it ejects the tray so you can put it in the disc. And since I'm printing on the bottom of the disc, then I'll put the disc in this way. Because again, it's going to print right here. So we'll try to position it as straight as I can. Yeah, that should be good enough. So we'll put it in. Well, we'll lift up this that cover there so we can see what's going on. And now we'll print. Here we go. Alright. Well, really easy and effective. Though it does look like a little bit of fading there on the P there. But you can make the rest of it out. But still though, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Alright, so the last thing to try out is to try printing with a PC. So we'll pop in the CD software and install that, which is still sealed, by the way. And it does recommend to install the software first before you connect the printer to your computer. So that's what we'll do. Alright, software is installing. And there's the shortcut on the desktop. Put that down there. Alright. And now we can get right to our labeling. Now, presumably the software will allow you to make more advanced labels. And if you're not fond of using the built-in keyboard on the printer itself, then you might prefer to type using the keyboard on your computer or your laptop. So this time I'm going to be titling this CDR here. This is a CDR that I burned many years ago, probably back in the early 2000s. And this just has some GBA and Sega Genesis games on it. And you can see here that this disc has these lines here, and this might interfere with printing. But my thought is that if you can get the font small enough, you might be able to fit it in between the lines, and it'll still work fine. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Alright, so for this one, we'll try doing a free design. Or no, we'll try free text, because this is going to be text. We'll do free text. And... okay, no. The print pattern, I'm just going to print on the bottom. So we'll print on the bottom. And so this just allows you to type whatever out you want. If you want to make 2 lines or 3 lines, or if you want to print something over here too, I mean, whatever you type, this is pretty much what you see is what you get when it comes to printing your label. I'm going to try to line this up so that maybe it kind of fits in between those lines. And we do have font settings here, so you can make the font smaller or go all the way up to 72. So, so you have, I mean, you really have full control here. Let's try going for 18, font size of 18. And see, we'll just type in GBA and Genesis. Actually, we can try to center that a little bit. So like right there. And then under that, I'll just put ROMs right there. So again, this is not exactly full size, but in theory it should be kind of close to there. Alright, well, we'll try that and see what happens. So we should be able to connect the printer to the PC now. And we'll turn the printer on. Alright, let's try pressing computer link. And now it pops up on the screen saying found new hardware. So let's put in the disk. And we'll see how this works. Try to put it in that way. Alright, so now we should be able to go to the print button here. And it'll print. Well, that kind of worked. I mean, the print is a bit small. I wish it was a bit larger than that, but of course you can, experiment with this. I have plenty of ink to practice with for sure. But yeah, I guess I was pretty lucky on that actually. That GBA in Genesis is right there on that line, and that is just below the line. That's exactly how I want it to be. It is a little crooked as well. I must not have had the disc exactly straight on the tray. But again, that's just something that you improve with practice. But overall, I'm actually pretty happy with this. This is pretty fun to use. Alright, well that is the Casio CW-75 disc title printer. A very interesting product and a surprisingly fun printer to use. It's just too bad that I don't really have a practical use for this today. I wish I did. I just don't really burn CDs and DVDs anymore. I used to burn music CDs years ago for myself and even family members. But, now everybody streams their music and, everybody has a smartphone, so you can just load your music on that and play it that way. So we really don't, CDs aren't really necessary anymore. But for those who do, still have a CD collection, a CDR collection of music, and you want to title them and print labels on them, I think this is an excellent tool, and it can go well beyond what I showed. I mean, you can print some images and symbols and stuff, so it can go pretty advanced. Like, here's some samples the instruction manual gives you. I mean, you can make some pretty professional looking labels on your CDRs using this printer. So I'm actually pretty impressed what all it can do. So this is a really, really fancy device. It's just, again, too bad that I don't really have practical use for it anymore. But I'm still glad to have it. I'm glad that it works because the seller wasn't sure if it did work. But it doesn't look like it was used that much, so I'm honestly not surprised that it does still work. So I'm really happy to have this. It was really fun to experiment with and play with, and I'm sure I'll have some more fun, just finding some old CDRs I've had laying around and maybe try to label them and messing with the software on the computer and stuff. So yeah, I'm sure I'll have some more fun with this in the future. But anyhow, guys, that's it for me. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.